104 laps complete after pit stops. David Green leads. Randy LaJoy, Hermie Sadler, Jeff Green, and now Chad Little on a quick pit stop has come up to 5th place. Let's have a look at today's Innovation in Motion feature brought to you by Peerless Faucets. Get more out of your faucet than just water. Here's Barry.
We're in Hermie Sadler's DeWalt Chevrolet. He's got an added tool, but it didn't come from DeWalt. It came from Laughlin. If you've got a Laughlin car or even a truck, here's what it is. There's a slug right behind that nut and bolt. It changes the anodive or caster gain or how this truck enters a corner, rolls through the middle of the corner, and exits a corner. It's a simple slug. It's just a difference in the location of the holes. You see his crew chief, John's got them right here. You see the difference? You knock one out, put the other one in, it can change the characteristic of the car dramatically.
Little extra tuning tool.
Not from DeWalt, but it sure works.
It sure does. Hermie got out 3rd, picked up a spot in the pits.
Yeah, you got McLaughlin up here now. He might have the capability of getting that lap back.
Chad Little came all the way up to 5th place on those pit stops. I wonder if he might have taken on 2 tires to have a quick stop.
He should not have.
Yeah, I would agree. 95 laps to go as the green flag waves. And it's a whole new race with new tires on all of these cars. And David Green leads them around the 1 mile here at Nazareth. Still double wide for most of this pack. Mike McLaughlin having a look on the outside. And that didn't work. And McLaughlin is now 2 laps down. Remember, he cut down a right front tire while running in 3rd position. Glenn Allen around the outside. Number 61 of Mike Olson, the Little Trees car. Pontiac for Olson. Burvis tries to move up and under Mike Dillon. And they're going to have to get by Olson first.
Looks like Jeff Green had a good pit stop, too, to move up.
Got a little pin there behind a lap car just there, going under the bridge. But yes, Jeff Green now in 5th place. Todd Bodine lost 4 spots on his pit stop. He dropped back to 8th. Now on this set of tires, David Green's opening up some advantage on LaJoy. And they have a good bit of distance on Sadler. So we'll stay here in mid-pack. Glenn Allen Jr. in that black Luxair number 99. He is the 10th place car. Here is Green, you see, all alone.
If LaJoy got tight a while ago, he may be a little loose right now and get better as the run goes on. We'll have to wait and see.
As hot as it is, Barry, would you think the racetrack would come to him? Is that what they're hoping?
Yes, that's what they're hoping. And they probably took air out of the left rear tire and put it in the right rear.
Allen trying to pull down on McLaughlin. Nothing there. Kelly Moore trying to hold the low line against Dick Trickle. Trickle finds his way past, and here comes Purvis.
Good run for Jeff. First time being here, just a great, great job.
Kelly Moore is a lap down. You see the damage on the Tic Tac Pontiac.
Kind of rhymes.
Give the dog a bone. And there's Phil Parsons trying to break through the race traffic. He'll be the 13th place. Excuse me, 15th place. Tommy Houston right with him, and Tim Fedowa. Last year's winner for Speedway, Kleenex number 40. change on Ron Thiel's car. Thiel at Jennerstown, Pennsylvania 2 weeks ago. First time the Busch North cars had run mufflers there, and Thiel burned both the heels on both feet pretty badly. So he has climbed out of the car, and Elliott Sadler is in the Levitt number 87 in relief of Ron Thiel.
Oh, he had his hands full right there in turn 5.
Starting to loosen up a little bit. Mike Dillon and Rodney Combs making the pass on Kelly Moore. That is for position for 20th spot. All those cars racing one lap down. And it gets a little crowded there as Doug Hebron trades sheet metal with Mark Green. In 75, Mark Green in the 37 Timberwolf car. And in amongst them, I think that's Jim Bound in the 5. Mark's off. Number 5. There's Hebron again. Blue Country Ford. Tom Bowles, 76, right with him. They work underneath Kelly Moore. 85 laps to go here at Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Busch Series back in action after a 6-season layoff. Counting the rain out of New Hampshire last week. Mike Stefanik, former modified champ, up on the outside of Tom Bowles there. Here's your race leader, the Caterpillar Chevy of David Green. Pretty good gap between Green, LaJoie, and Sadler, but from 4th place on back, we've got a pretty good battle brewing. Here are the leaders. Here's that battle for 4th place. Chad Little in the Pontiac now has his hands full with Jeff Green in turn 1. Once that door is open, Jason Keller gets underneath.
I was watching Chad up here off turn 5. If we carry him that long, you can see it again. It looks like the car has an aero push. The front end will not stick, and it will not turn.
Chad says that's some of the frustration he's had with working with the Pontiac, is not enough down pressure on the nose. So they've been adapting. Remember, he ran a Ford last year and had racked up a string of wins by this time in the season. There's Todd Bodine under pressure from Kevin LePage. Cape Canaveral Cruise Line machine. If you've not seen the papers, Todd Bodine is going into the seat of the McDonald's Ford on the Winston Cup circuit. He's been named the replacement for Bill Elliott while Bill recuperates. So he is really looking forward to next week in Charlotte. Larry Pearson closing in on this group. There's the 92, Stanley Cooley's car. And Chad Little keeping touch with that group, though he's now in 9th place. The cars don't look that different, Barry, but I guess to the wind tunnel or to the driver on the racetrack, it seems that that Pontiac and the Chevy have a different feel.
You know, we were so excited about that thing last fall originally. The rear window angle is perfect. It's better than a Monte Carlo, and it's just fine. It's hard to find a nose to adapt to it within the dimensions that NASCAR is going to give you, and that's what they've been fighting for. And if you lay the spoiler down on the back, it just unloads the whole car. So they've had their work cut out.
Talked to Chad about that yesterday, about switching from the Ford to the Pontiac and not seeing the success he had last season.
Well, you got to realize, first of all, we made some big changes over the winter, going from the Ford sheet metal to the Pontiac, and we just have to figure out what the Pontiac needs. It's a good race car. It just doesn't need the same type of a setup that the Ford needed, and you know, all of our notes and records apply to that. And so we have to adapt those to the new body style, and also there seems to be an issue with the amount of front downforce that the Pontiac has compared to the rear. You know, it seems like it does have a lot on the rear, maybe too much on the rear. Let me rephrase that. Not too much on the rear, but not enough on the front. And that way, for that reason, when you open the front up for the race, the car wants to offer a push. So we've had to do things to really free the car up a lot more than we ever anticipated. So we're kind of in a learning cycle right now.
So if you folks think these cars all look the same, let me assure you, trouble in turn 1. Hermie Sadler was trying to get around the outside of Dale Shaw. Suzuki is in it as well as the rest of the field fights their way through. Sadler was trying to pass Dale Shaw. Sadler was on the outside. And there just wasn't enough room going into that corner for both cars.
Tough break. Hermie's been sitting there running at third.
There is Suzuki, the Japanese driver, in Joe Bessie's car. And it's the 6th caution of the day. And a tough break for Sadler. He and John Munson had that car up into 3rd place. Now, the front-end damage on Shaw's machine, much of that is from the accident early on that he was involved in. Dale's a former Busch North champion and had the Ocean Spray car running pretty well here. And let's take a break here from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and we'll come back, have a look at replays with you. David Green continues to lead Randy LaJoie and Jeff Green. If you want to know who starts where, who finished where, and what the point standings are, your 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass is NASCAR Online on the World Wide Web at NASCAR.com. Before, during, after the race, check it out. Hermie Sadler on pit road. Phil Parsons also making a stop. Mike Stefanik, Curtis Markham, Suzuki, and Dennis Setzer. Mike McLaughlin in as well. There's Hermie's car in the pits. Broken pannard rod, Barry?
Yes, I looked at it going down pit road. It looked like the track bar pannard rod is broken. I would say they cannot fix that car with the laps they got left, only 75. He's got to be dejected.
Let's show you what happened. Entering turn 1, white car on the inside. There's Sadler on the outside. Hard to tell from that angle if one came up or the other came down. And Toshio Suzuki in the 9 caught up in the middle of it. And just aftermath there. Suzuki spun his car to miss the 2 of them. Let's go to Steve.
Yeah, and a dejected Hermie Sadler is here. Hermie, what happened? Just coming up on a lap car and didn't get any room. The guy waved me to the outside, and they talked about in the driver's meeting, it's tight through that corner, give and take, especially when you got a car going for second and a car that's a lap down. This can never get the respect they give other people. I don't know why.
Tough break. Hermie came in today 17th in points, and this will drop him further down.
Sadler running very, very well in that DeWalt Chevy. In a solid 3rd place at the time of the incident. 74 laps to go. We'll be right back to Nazareth, Pennsylvania. To come to Nashville for the TNN Salute to Motorsports at Opryland. For information, call 615-889-6611 weekdays. We're under caution again. A lap after the restart, Jim Bound has given the wall a more than close shave at turn number 3 as he climbs out of the Barbasol Chevrolet. Bit of damage to the left side too. Couldn't tell from our position here in the booth if there was contact leading up to the accident.
Yeah, he's a little upset there, looks like.
It's the mandatory ride back. Jim Bound back from after that injury at Nashville. Let's look at the replay. This is the turn 3. Oh, yes.
That's why he's upset.
And everybody else checks up.
That could have been a lot worse, Mike, than what we saw earlier.
You have 4 cars in the grass trying to get by. So Jim walked away. He is all right. Not so for his dad's Chevrolet up there in the fence. And we're at 130 laps, 70 to go. The left side is jacked up on Dennis Setzer's car, and the right side on Mike McLaughlin's. They've both been in for lengthy pit stops and missed this restart. There are 15 cars on the lead lap. David Green, Randy LaJoie, Jeff Green, Kevin LePage having a great run in 4th. Todd Bodine in 5th, Larry Pearson 6th, Chad Little running in 7th. Dick Trickle, after being as far back as 31st, has climbed to 8th. 9th is Glenn Allen, 10th Tommy Houston, 11th is Jeff Purvis, 12th last year's winner Tim Fedowa, 13th is Doug Hebron, 14th is Phil Parsons, 15th. That would be Mike Stefanik. Let's also add one lap, or add Jason Keller, we're told, is also on the lead lap. As Randy Porter makes a pit stop in the UniFirst Uniforms car. Looking out from Randy's windshield as he heads down pit road at 45 miles an hour, the mandated speed. Mike McLaughlin's also back on track. One lap down, Rodney Combs, Patty Moise, Dennis Setzer, Mark Green, Porter, Mike Olson is a lap back. So is Curtis Markham and the 55 of Bobby Daughter. Steve?
Mike, you mentioned Kevin LePage a second ago having a great run in 4th. He started this race in 18th. Hey, we should note, this is just his second start with the Ridling Motorsports team. Kevin LePage started the season with his own operation. It was underfunded. Pete Orr was let go from the 88. And again, just their second start. They'll be together for the remainder of the season.
Well, good news and a good start. Tommy Houston's on pit road at 131 laps, 69 to go at Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Doubleheader with the NASCAR Modified Featherlight Tour for the fans here in the stands today. We'll be right back.
Is brought to you by Pep Boys. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Tires and service too. Everything but gas. And by Peerless Faucet. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Getting set to go back to racing. A few more pit stops underway. Mike Dillon, Randy Porter is in. Also Jeff McClure on pit road. And add Curtis Markham to the cars on the lead lap. Scoring update, we now have 17 cars on the lead lap. We'll be in South Boston, Virginia, June 8th with the Busch Grand National Tour here on TNN. And on Friday night, June 7th, there'll be a celebrity charity softball game in Danville, Virginia, Dan Daniels Park. The Busch Grand National drivers will be out to slaughter the media. Can you play softball?
Against the media, yes.
No. We need you. We need help. I got Buddy Baker. He's designated hitter. He's going to whack some home runs. And we're going to have a lot of fun and raise some money for charity for youth athletics in Danville and South Boston.
It's got to make you feel good to help any kind of charity.
Sure. All right, let's get out of Tommy Houston's pit. Here's Steve.
Mike, with Tommy's son, Scott Houston, who has just rejoined the team. Scott, you guys have been on pit road. What's the problem?
He got in a little altercation with another car. I had to pull the front fender out. I was afraid it was going to get black flagged.
How does it feel to be back with your dad's team?
Hey, it feels pretty good. We have all the executives from Suburban Propane here, including the CEO, and those guys are pumped up. We're pumped up, and got a long way to go. He says the car is great.
Well, folks, just to show you, he's only been back a week, so he doesn't have a uniform. It says Leonard Houston.
Yeah, I had to borrow my cousin's uniform.
It'll be like a Mike Ricci's team where they call everybody Harry, including the driver. Clyde McLeod's group was everybody was Harry on that Sherry Cups team also. A lot of that going on. Lenny Bowler, who owns the championship-winning car in the Modified Tour, has never owned a shirt with Lenny on it. But everybody else.
I've been in that situation.
You can bring part of your favorite race team into your own home when TNN salutes motorsports at Opryland June 29th. There'll be a memorabilia auction, and you can bid on everything from autographed racing tires to crew uniforms, some of which have the right name on them. But all the proceeds will go to the National Arthritis Foundation. For information on the memorabilia auction or the other events at the TNN salute to motorsports at Opryland, call 615-889-6611, Monday through Friday. Dick Trickle back up and on the lead lap in 9th place. Having quite a climb here for a fellow who had no practice yesterday and spent the day and the evening in Charlotte racing around. He's had quite a drive toward the front.
A lot of savvy there, and when they pitted, I watched him. I didn't see any major adjustments, and I think it was just the fact of him getting accustomed to the car.
Top 10 looks like this. David Green, Randy LaJoie, Jeff Green, Jason Keller, Kevin LePage in 5th, Todd Bodine, Larry Pearson, Chad Little, Dick Trickle here in 9th place, and Phil Parsons, or excuse me, Glenn Allen in 10th. Rodney Combs right now a lap down to 18th.
Tommy, it's a shame, you know, Tommy had to go to the back of the lead lap cars, and he's got new right-side tires, but they're not that new compared to everybody else. So maybe we take a look and see if he can make it back up through there like where he was. He had a great run going.
Hey, give a call to John Munson and the crew of Hermie Sadler's car. They've got him back on the racetrack. Trying to pile up some points. Here's Phil Parsons, currently in 14th place. He is on the lead lap. Jim McCulloch, the guy who invented Max race cars, has written a book. It's a lot of fun. How to tell if you're a real race fan. And it's kind of in a Jeff Foxworthy sort of theme as we look for Randy Porter's Universe Uniforms car. The one I found touching, I've done this. You tell people your phone number by Dale, Rusty, Ricky, Jeff, like that. For people that have odd phone numbers, can't remember them, you just line up cars with those numbers. You can remember that. You can remember your phone number.
I've used that trick for years.
Me too.
To remember them, and I think every race fan has, or people in racing.
It's called How to Tell If You're a Real Race Fan, and it'll be in bookstores beginning in July. Should be fun. Best of luck to Jim with that venture. 63 laps to go, and next time by, we'll be back under the green flag. 17 cars now on the lead lap, but David Green and Randy LaJoie have been tough all day. Carl Simmons gives them the 1 to go sign from atop the flag stand, and Rodney Combs lines up opposite David Green as the first car 1 lap down. Barry, what's the next stop for you with the trucks?
We'll go to Tucson next week, and then we go to Denver, and back home to Topeka, and then we go to Bristol. Pretty familiar with that, so we're headed back this way.
Barry Dodson got his start in stock car racing at Childress Community College.
Yeah.
Worked for Richard Childress. Moved, I guess, were you full-time or part-time, or just when you could get there?
I was full-time. We had 2 employees, Richard and myself. And, you know, he couldn't pay me, but we had a great time.
Then moved on to Richard Petty College of Higher Learning.
Yeah, University of Randleman, and learned a lot there, and just moved on up.
Okay, let's go to Steve quickly before the restart.
Mike, we've just gotten a report. Todd Bodine has radioed in asking for a relief driver. He's very sick. He has a bad cold. They cannot find anybody. Jeff Fuller has left the track. Let's go back to green flag racing.
Todd Bodine will have to tough it out. He slips inside the lap car of Patty Moise. We are back under green. 61 laps to go. Riding with Dick Trickle, chasing Chad Little. Moving under Patty Moise, who is in 19th place, 1 lap down. Purex car.
I think you'll see Dick kick by Chad here a little bit.
Oh, around goes the Rent-A-Wreck car. Number 11. Joey McCarthy out of Randolph, New Jersey, making his first Busch start, and he will bring out the caution. Buddy would have a joke for that, but I won't even presume to.
That was sponsored loyalty for sure there.
So caution is out for the 8th time today, and this should be a quick one as McCarthy was able to get going again right away. 59 laps to go in Nazareth. We'll be right back. First lap back under green here at Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Mike Joy with Barry Dodson and Steve Burns today on TNN. First 6 cars have cleared the lap machine of Rodney Combs. Now you see Chad Little mowing a little lawn with his John Deere tractor as he gets underneath Combs. And here you're riding with Dick Trickle. Combs is 1 lap down. Trickle is in 9th place. And there's Rodney Combs right behind. Staying to the high side to give the lead lap car some room. Now he's slotted in line ahead of Glenn Allen. And Jeff Purvis has moved up into 11th. And again, as they have Barry on every restart, the 2 leaders have been able to take off.
They're strong. They're real strong. You got Randy moving up a little bit. We might get to that in a minute. But Trickle, look for him to keep moving up. It's taking a while to get going here on the restarts. I don't know if he's got air pressure down or what, but he was all over Chad before.
Patty Moise loose down there in turn 1 and almost lost it. Had a car on the outside of her. and cut the car sideways and saved it. Doug Hebron was passing her to the outside. Nice save by Patty. Down the front straightaway with Dick Trickle here underneath the flag stand, and he is not gaining any ground on Chad Little just yet. 2. Rounding out a 3 and into the backstretch. Coming down the hill here at Nazareth. Back up front. LaJoie begins to put the pressure on once again.
Pressure's on. They got plenty of rubber left. 50 go here now. You can see a heck of a race.
You have David Green, a driver known for his savvy and his patience. His record at finishing races pretty much unequaled in this series. He is the point leader. And pole sitter, this man, Randy LaJoie, in 74, 4 second-place finishes in Busch competition. Hickory, 1989. Talladega and Darlington in 93, and Hickory in 94. But he is still hungry for that first win in this series.
Birdie made some good adjustments at turn 5, and that's the place you need to run good. You can see Randy get in the corner better than David and still be able to turn and almost beat him off. That's where he's making his time.
All right, we'll see that down here as they come down the backstretch to turn 4.
All right, there it is. Now watch this.
Here's turn 5.
Inching up on him.
Right there. They're about 4 feet apart as they go across the apron of turn 1. And they're running away from third place Jeff Green. David Green is not one to use up his car.
No, he's smart. I talked to him a long time yesterday. Probably the longest I ever have. A lot of knowledge there. And, you know, anybody can have a bad season, but to snap back from that and have the kind of year he's having is pretty phenomenal.
David Green driving for Buzz McCall. Butch Enders, the crew chief. Kirk Shelmerdine involved there. And here's third place on back. Youngest of the 3 brothers, Jeff Green. And the good wrench number 3, Jason Keller. New daddy.
New daddy, yeah.
And Kevin LePage.
Good run for LePage.
Yes. Very good. His previous best year was only about 17th place, so.
Chad's gotten a little better than he had been.
All right, here's LaJoie, where he's good on this racetrack. Does he drop the nose under? Yes, he does, as David Green's car wiggles just a bit. Here's LaJoie diving in for the lead, and you saw David Green lift off the gas early for turn 1.
That's because he's leading the points, and that's what air pressure will do for you. We call it air pressure down south.
But in New Hampshire, see, Birdie spent a lot of years with Ron Bouchard.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, air pressure.
You see Randy gets in there really good. The thing cuts. That's the same as putting more spring rate, more split in the back, if it holds up.
Well, that'll be the question. Can Randy LaJoie keep the car under himself for 46 laps here?
They've really driven away.
Oh, yeah, third place is no place as far as this duo is concerned. Look at the interval here. Way back, almost half the backstretch.
Yeah, and that's a great race, too.
Todd Bodine with an upper respiratory infection. He has just not been able to shake this cold. He says usually on a hot day, a couple hours in the race car will drain his sinuses. He says that doesn't even happen. He is not feeling well. Let's show you again what happened. And take a look as they come down the front straightaway. You can see where David Green lifts. And lets Randy LaJoie slide under. Yeah. So as not to give up the whole corner.
He knows Randy's all over him, and he knows Randy's going to pass him. He doesn't want him to hit him to pass him, and he's going to hope right now Randy uses up his tires.
And you know, too, Barry, this is how a lot of drivers say they drive this place like a road course. If this was a banked oval, you'd both go in there side by side and see who gets out first.
Right.
But on a road course, somebody dives into the corner, give him the corner, see if you can beat him or stay with him coming out.
Right, and you can do that here. It's good and tight, but there's still a lot of room.
44 laps to go. Randy LaJoie seeks his first ever Busch Grand National victory. David and Jeff Green, Jason Keller trailing. We'll be right back. Randy LaJoie has 2 car lengths on David Green. Not a lot of distance, but he's steadily been opening it up.
David's watching him right now, hoping he'll use his tires up.
And Dick Trickle's been coming through the field. He just